Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be covering a couple of pieces of news, just two today, but they're pretty important and I think you should really be paying attention to them. And if you don't want to miss any more news and you want to help us support the channel, subscribe, drop a comment, and click that bell icon to stay up to date with us. So a judge denied Binance and the SEC request for a protective order to avoid filings under the seal. Let's take a look at really what that means. So the judge, her name is Amy Berman Jackson. Now she denied that motion for that protective order, because there was that legal tussle between Binance and the SEC. But the decision actually heightened scrutiny and legal complexities, which really kind of characterize crypto sector's current regulatory landscape. So what that really means is that they feel that the uh, landscape is not really that great, right? Okay, so let's go into it more. So there was a protective order, really is what that is. So the protective order, which is going to limit the disclosure of some sensitive information, which could be like non-public data. Now, it went along with the adherence to, uh, against sealed proceedings. So saying that any kind of confidential information intended for sealing by a motion for leave to file under the seal per the Civil Rule 5.1H. Now, the protective orders denial has some really very serious implications, and what that means is, like, number one, the limited public access to sensitive information. So this is actually to restrict public access to certain documents and data that could be included in proprietary business information, some strategies, some personal data, and the motion maintains a higher level of public access and scrutiny. All right, control disclosure and legal strategy. Now, this is actually supposed to be used to ensure controlled disclosures of sensitive information, primarily to legal parties involved in the case, and it may be necessary for a strategic reevaluation by the SEC and Binance in handling some very complex and sensitive information. And third but not least, the impact on transparency. So protective orders are very common, they're standard, and well, any kind of litigation or any kind of problems. Now, their denial, and especially this situation, gives a higher degree of transparency in the legal process, which could actually affect public and investor perceptions of what is really going on. So, because this is being denied, it doesn't really close the door on Binance and the SEC entirely. Now, she did say she has openness to approving a revised protective order as long as it complies with requisite legal standards. So, going by this to the presumption against seal proceedings and the requirement for an accompanying motion to leave the file under seal as outlined in the local civil rule 5.1H. So her stance or how she feels about it is a willingness to consider different protective measures to actually make sure that everything is fair and it goes along as procedural requirements and with the confidentiality concerns of both parties. So she's looking to try to be at least legal and go by the book, which is really good for us, right? And what about the NFT to handcuffs? Mutant Apes creator as he went through $3 million of wire fraud admissions, so he admitted to actually doing that. Now, this was another rug pull, and a lot of stuff really kind of went down, and it made some history. Orlean Michael, he's a French citizen, and he's the creator of the Mutant Ape Planet NFT collection, and he pleaded guilty on the charges of wire fraud in the court that happened in New York. This was reported on Wednesday, which is today, and from the U.S. Attorney's Office from the Eastern District of New York. So a lot of things happened in New York. But because he created this, he proved to be an illicit mimicry of Yuga Labs' Mutant Ape Yacht Club initiative, and he actually made a scheme that really took money from investors that equaled up to $3 million. The U.S. Attorney EDNY, he said non-fungible token developer pleads guilty to an international scheme of defund NFT purchasers. Arlene Michael conspired to steal from purchasers of Mutant Ape Planet NFTs through false promises and misrepresentation at HSI New York. All right. Now, really what happened there? His associates are charged with marketing the NFT, right? According to the prosecutors, Michael deliberately fell short of fulfilling the commitments they made. and put money of millions of dollars for their personal pockets. Right, so they just put it in their pockets. Fatoruso, the special agent in charge of the IRS criminal investigation in New York, said that despite his claims of offering NFTs with the dreamlike rewards and benefits, he duped some investors and sent their money, changing their aspirations into a harrowing reality, quote unquote, of deceit and financial losses. Now, OpenSea got rid of Mutant Apes as well. They had around 6,797 NFTs on the Ethereum mainnet as well, and that sales peaked. The fake sales peaked around in February with 320 Ethereum, and the collection popularity actually went down until he got arrested in January of this year. So the endeavors in 21 was the Bored Ape Yacht Club, which made it pretty popular. In the Mutant Ape Yacht Club, which was that spin-off of that. During that year, the Bored Ape Yacht Club sold around 276,700 Ether. That was coming from the report, so it was a lot. Now he's facing 5 years in prison. That is kind of bad, but not really that bad. But that market was around 16 billion in 2021. 212 billion by 2030 is what they're expecting it to be as well. So he's looking. It could be if they give him 5 years, he'll probably do around one or two, something like that, with good behavior. It depends on how hard they actually slam him, and depending on what comes up next. So once it goes to trial and they start the sentencing, that's going to be an interesting moment. So pay attention to that. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you again next time. Subscribe, drop a comment, and let me know what you think about this. How many years should he get? Do you think his 5 is enough or more? See you again next time.